Do you know the dark truth behind the Teletubbies? We've always known that the four characters in the series are always smiling, but the truth behind Teletubbies will leave you speechless. In reality, the cartoon is based on a children's psychiatric institute in Bulgaria in the 50s. Each of these children was abused on a daily basis. The guards locked them in dark, cold rooms and even forgot to feed them. The four Teletubbies characters actually all died on the same day. Their faces were deformed due to the lack of food and getting beaten regularly. They were even kept in isolation, which led the children to dance and sing by themselves, even though there was no music at all. They occupied themselves as best they could. Because of the cold, Tinky Winky's skin turned purple. Lala, on the other hand, was a real ray of sunshine. She was literally the only child who, despite all her daily mistreatment and abuse, kept smiling. She constantly tried to reassure her other friends that things would eventually get better. Unfortunately, they all died. The character of Po is itself taken from the full name Polina. One night, drunken guards threw her into the fire as she slept. Polina woke up the next morning with her body partially burned. The color red, therefore, refers to the flames into which she was thrown. Finally, as for the child who inspired Dipsy's character, he was a little boy who was constantly ill. He used to throw up what little food he was given. Green, therefore, refers to sickness and vomiting. And the sun we see in the cartoon is actually a metaphor for the guardians the children must constantly obey. The only source of comfort for this group of children was the television, which was always on. Except that one day, they heard the director of the institute say he was going to remove it because of the cost of electricity. The four friends quickly panicked. When the guards returned home at night, the four children went into the office and each stole a small television. Unfortunately, they quickly lost their way, as they had no idea where they were going to hide them. So they decided to hide the televisions in their own stomachs. The next morning, when the guards arrived at the institute, the children were crying, as usual. But this time, all four of them were lying in the middle of the room. Their stomachs were open and blood was running all over the room. However, their eyes were wide open, and they were grinning from ear to ear. These darker origins would explain why Teletubbies have been banned in some countries. Share this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to not miss the next story.